Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to the Jess Strom Show. We have two wonderful guests with us today. First one here, one of our all-time faves, our athletic trainer, not to be confused with trainer.
Yes.
Athletic trainer, Mercedes Himmons, otherwise known as to our staff as Mer. Mer, would you please do us the honor and introduce, for those people that don't know you, introduce yourself to the viewers out there today.
Okay. I'm Mercedes, and I'm the athletic trainer. I'm from Philadelphia, PA. I am a graduate of CalU, undergrad, and my master's. And I'm currently in the PhD in Instructional Management and Leadership program at Robert Morris. So hopefully I graduate May 8th, 2020. And I came back to Cal because it was like my dream job to be back at Cal, where I learned everything. I had the resources I needed. I knew I had the faculty and staff that would help me to grow professionally and personally.
And that's why you're here with us now.
It was kind of the perfect fit for me.
Absolutely. And that doctorate that you're in right now, I'm so excited for the day that we can call you Dr. Himmons, because I will call you the doctor from the jump. Like, it will be nothing else but Dr. Himmons.
Just doctor.
Or just doctor for short.
No.
So I can't tell you how much we love having you with our program. We always talk about, here at CalU, family, and I think Mercedes reaches that highest level of family with us.
Thank you.
She does just about everything for our team. So, Mercedes, explain to, everybody just basically your day-to-day duties, what you do for our program, and just, just basically what you do for us.
So I am a Jane of all trades. I come in, right now I have 2 athletic training students with me, 1 junior, 1 senior, and we prepare the water for hydration for the student athletes, for practices, for games. We do any sort of pre-practice treatments that we need to do, taping, evaluating injuries, rehab. I'm a counselor. I have coffee and candy in my office, so a lot of the girls will come in and just have coffee and candy.
And meaningful conversations.
Yes, and they'll talk about, how their days are going, how class is going. They'll ask me how my classes are going, how my dissertation is going. I do Coach Katie's hair for game
Not today,
days,
certainly not today, but for games. Help a girl out.
I make coffee for Coach Katie. I drive a van to the away games.
When needed. You are the official Jane of all trades.
Yes, I could do everything. Nutrition, anything that you can think of. I probably, facility management.
Yeah, even counseling for the coaches too. I mean, you are the epitome, I think, of what ATCs are.
Oh, thank you.
And to me, that's an all-encompassing person that is going to be there no matter what, not just physically, but I think you do, which is big time right now with sports, even the mental side. You're such a great outlet. I know for not only our players, but our staff, the people around you. There is, to me, not like one person that has so much joy all the time than you coming in. Like you're typically always in a great mood. Yes. And I think what thing I'm really impressed at is, since you've been here, this is your second year with women's basketball, 100% accuracy on all injuries. Fired me up, because I mean that's a lot of great faith to have. Like when you say to Mercedes, like, hey, what do you think was wrong? Gives the opinion. Obviously, if we think we have to go to the doctor, and it's 100, baby.
I'm trying, not every day is the same, and not every injury, it could be the same, but no one body is the same. So you kind of have to be on your toes at all times. I'm also trying to make sure that I do that for the athletic training students, so that they know no one case is going to be the same. But it comes with experience, comes with time. You see a lot of things, and you can't overthink it. It can honestly just be something very simple, and you kind of just have to think, okay, let me not think outside the box all times.
Absolutely.
Just kind of making sure you do your job, and if you know your stuff, then It's easy.
Would you say, Mercedes, that a lot of times you talk about experience and obviously the educational background you've had, the experience that you had working with teams, do you go a lot with your gut too? Is there like an instinct that goes along with that?
Yes, because I don't do anything textbook. A lot of the students will question me why I did X over Z. And I have to explain to them because just you learn it one way and then you have to take your certification test. And me personally, I kind of just shut all that out once I took my certification test because it was I do what works for me and what I know works for the student athletes. And if something is telling me it might be this, but I'm just like, I really think it's this, I'll go with that. Like, because it honestly could be anything, but when a student athlete is telling you what's bothering them and what happened, you can kind of put that together in your head of, okay, it's this. I don't have to jump to the extreme.
Yep. And talk about experience. Tell, what is your background? Where have you been? Besides being at Cal U, when you were done with Cal U, what was the process for you? For people that are out there that want to be athletic trainers, what was your process to get to here?
So I actually took a year off from athletic training because the undergraduate experience burnt me out. It was very different from what it is now. So there were months where I had 200 hours as a student and still had to do my classwork. So by the time I graduated, I was burnt out. And I really took that year to see
if it's what you wanted to do.
If athletic training was what I wanted to do. Did I want to spend countless hours with one team or multiple teams and, sacrificing nights, weekends, holidays, if that was what I wanted to do. So I actually worked for my fraternity for a year, and I traveled across the country to 7 schools to talk to the chapters there and be an outlet, a liaison for them. And then...
What is your fraternity?
It is Phi Sigma Pi, National Honor Fraternity. I started here at Cal, Kappa chapter, but it was different to see how chapters work just from the East Coast to the West Coast. Those California state chapters are different, but it was fun. And then I kind of realized that I was missing athletic training. So I got back in it. I worked at a middle school outside of Philadelphia, and then I went to a small D3 university over there. And then I actually went to the high school for a year. It was not for me. It's just a high school setting is really just you and at least 300 athletes. And they don't have just one sport. They'll probably be, triple sport athletes, and they're just always in there to see you.
Hard to build relationships, because there's so many people in and out, I'm assuming. So it's much more, would you say, personal at the collegiate level, getting to know the team, kind of the climate, how they are.
That's what I like the most. And to be honest, the involvement of the parents at the high school setting was just
overwhelming.
It was. So I realized that was not for me. And then I realized, being in the college setting really was what I wanted to do. Being in the college setting, it's a lot easier. I feel like I have a lot of control with my student athletes, and it's easier for me to not get lost in, I'm just sending them to the doctor, to their primary care physician.
You're invested.
Yes, and you build those relationships, and you can impact not just one, but multiples. To this day, I still have student athletes from that middle school that reach out to me. They are playing at the Division I level, and they want to ask me something, and I do kind of tell them that they need to talk to their athletic trainer there, but that says a lot to me that, I made such an impact on them that they wanted to reach out. And now I'm back at Cal.
And now that you're here and you work so closely with us, tell us a couple things that you might, really like about the Cal U basketball program.
I love the energy. Just it matches my energy. We can go from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds.
Isn't that the truth?
And that's Mercedes on any given day. So to have that group of 20 where it's just like, okay, this is like a good fit for me. It's a good vibe, and we get along well, and we can go to each other about anything. I feel comfortable coming to you or Jess or Kelly to say, this is my day. Let's talk about this, or if I need to get something off my chest, and you guys can understand, and I appreciate that. So I love the family vibe of the Cal U women's basketball team.
I love it. And you are definitely a big part of the family. So
thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the first half of the Jess Strom Show with our fave, Mercedes Himmons, soon to be Dr. Himmons. We will be right back with junior point guard Bianca Jasper.
Sometimes we can do things that exclude others.
You still talking to your friends?
It's complicated.
I think he went back in. We gotta go get him.
Welcome to Jumanji.
Even the smallest words and actions can have a big effect on someone. You have the skills. Because of you, someone's entire day, their year, or their life can change.
Remember, the future is in your hands.
Visit becauseofyou.org to learn more.
Totally, let's do it.
It's time to make the PSAC yours. More than 7,500 student athletes working to become champions in 23 championship sports at 18 universities, educating more than 118,000 students, and supported by an alumni base of over 900,000. All in and all ready to make the PSAC yours. It's the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference.
Consider the future. Your future. At California University of Pennsylvania, you can build your life your way because we believe in you. We invest in you, empower you to create the future you envision. We give you the tools and teaching so you can rise up and achieve. Don't settle for someone else's vision of you. Build you at CalU. Visit us at calu.edu.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Jess Strom Show. This is the second part of 3 today. We had 2 guests, Bianca Jasper, junior point guard, being the second one. Welcome to the show. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. And for everyone that doesn't know you, Bianca, why don't you introduce yourself to the viewers?
My name's Bianca Jasper. I'm from Middletown, Pennsylvania, and I'm a junior.
And what are you studying?
Pre-med.
Another doctor in the house. So we have Dr. Himmons soon to be, and hopefully Dr. Jasper soon to be. That's exciting stuff. Difficult content.
Yeah.
How's school going?
It's good.
You enjoyed the break?
Not really, because
You like to keep it rolling?
Yeah, I like to keep it all going.
So most people say yes, they enjoy the break, but because you like repetition and to keep things rolling, you're just much better on a routine.
Yeah, I hate being bored, so this break is a little too much for me.
It's a little tough for you.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about hoops. I think, the people watching have a good idea about you this third year with the program. Talk a little bit about your growth from the time you were a freshman to last year, obviously seeing a lot more time and kind of taking on, a different role. And then now this year, being named captain and kind of trying to take on a new leadership role. Tell us about how that's going so far for you.
Yeah, a lot's changed since my freshman year. Like, I came in, I started to play a lot more. Then I had an injury, so I didn't get to see the NCAA tournament or even PSAC play. So that was
tough.
Yeah, it was tough for me to do. And then last year I got a bigger role on the team, and then this year I have a much bigger role, not even just playing, but also a leadership role. So just a lot of things changed, but I feel like I changed a lot within the past 3 years on and off the court. So I think it's fitting for me.
Good. And had a tough one on Saturday. Play rival Edinburgh at home, lose a close game at the end, and then have to follow that up with a big game versus a team that scores a ton of points in Seton Hill. Tell us the big difference, Bianca, about, just kind of Saturday to Wednesday, what we did on Saturday and how we had to change that for Wednesday.
Yeah, I feel like Saturday we weren't ourselves. Like in practice, we can do everything almost perfect in practice sometimes, and then Saturday came and we just all fell apart.
Just didn't have the execution necessary to win. On the defensive end?
Yeah, defensively, yeah.
So what were the changes made from that time? Because it's a quick time period. You know how it is from one game to the other. There's really not much time. So what did you think was the big difference in how we approach things?
I feel like a lot of our players took that personal, like that loss, and we all just made a change like within ourselves, and then together as a team, we realized that we're better than what we were putting out there.
Mm-hmm. Talk to us a little bit about Wednesday's game versus Seton Hill. What was your mentality heading into that game?
For me, it was defense. Like, just go. Defensively, just go. Don't even worry about offense. Like, I'm the point guard, but defensively, I knew if I stepped up in that role, then everyone else will step up too.
Mm-hmm. And do you think there was a big change defensively?
100%.
Yeah. And then, following a big game, two teams that score, big-time points, Seton Hill on Wednesday, and then IUP heading to their place. Thoughts about how big the game is?
This game is huge. It could determine a lot for us. Mm-hmm. IUP is highest ranked so far on our side of the PSAC. So if we go in and give it our all and come out with a W, it will do a lot for us for the rest of the season.
Yep. And, you know how it is. And I think maybe some of the viewers know, but how important are all these PSAC games?
Every game is important.
Mm-hmm.
The closer we get, the more important it is that we keep going. Because if we let up at all, that can determine us not playing in the end.
Yep, absolutely. And you know how the PSAC is this year.
It's tough.
It's tough. And here's the thing: every team can beat every team. It's not like, to me obviously there's people in the leaderboard areas, but it seems like, from top to bottom, everybody's coming at you at every night. How do you prepare for that in practice?
We just go at each other in practice. We don't give up on each other. Like we'll go head to head and just tear each other apart for the ball, just in one play.
Absolutely. And B, what do you like about this year's team? To you, what is this team?
I feel like we have a lot more different people on our team. We're not just looking to one person for one thing. Every day it could be someone different. And I like how we all can realize who that person is in that moment, and we can look to them for that.
Mm-hmm. Good. And, what are you most excited about as we, head to IUP on Saturday? Like, do you get excited for games? Do you stay pretty even? Like, what is your mentality?
I don't really show it, but I get pretty excited.
Mm-hmm.
I just try to keep it just mellow and just
simple.
Whatever, yeah.
Simple person, right?
Yeah.
Nothing too big, nothing too low, just kind of to execute the game plan and what we're trying to do. And, what has been the biggest difference for you this junior year? Like, you talked about your growth. How do you think have you grown on the floor, off the court,
I feel like I've been taking a lot more shots and looking for a lot more looks. And I haven't been looking at Coach Jess, like, what play should I call? Like, I feel like I'm starting to step up in that place, too.
A better understanding of what she would want if she were out there.
Yeah.
So basically, as a point guard, someone has to be, close to the coach, has an understanding. You're really an extension of the head coach. Do you feel like that you have a good grasp on things that she wants?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did that take some time for you to understand?
Yeah, a little bit. Because I had other people before saying, why aren't you doing this? Why are you doing that? Mm-hmm. And Coach Jess was telling me something different. So it was just like, in the moment, I was a little confused. But
so now you have a clear idea of the expectations. And B, what do you want to do? You talked about your major, soon to be a doctor. What area? Just to kind of give the viewers, let's step away from basketball. Like, what is it that's your ultimate goal for when you get out of CalU?
I want to work in the emergency room and get
fast
experience.
pace.
Yeah.
An ER doctor. That's intense. Now, have you done any shadowing or anything like that in terms of what made you want to do that?
In high school, I had an internship at a hospital, and every day that I was in the emergency room, I just loved it. Like, people would come in and just, you didn't know what was going to happen.
Like just the unknown and just making sure that you're so prepared that you're ready for anything.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, thanks for joining us, B. We always love to have you. That is the second half of the Jess Strom Show. We will be right back with the main woman herself, Miss Jessica Strom.
Sometimes we can do things that exclude others.
You still talking to your friends?
It's complicated.
I think he went back in. We gotta go get him.
Welcome to Jumanji.
Even the smallest words and actions can have a big effect on someone. You have the skills. Because of you, someone's entire day, their year, or their life can change.
Remember, the future is in your hands.
Visit becauseofyou.org to learn more.
Totally, let's do it.
It's time to make the PSAC yours. More than 7,500 student athletes working to become champions in 23 championship sports at 18 universities, educating more than 118,000 students and supported by an alumni base of over 900,000. All in and all ready to make the PSAC yours. It's the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference.
Consider the future. Your future. At California University of Pennsylvania, you can build your life your way because we believe in you. We invest in you, empower you to create the future you envision. We give you the tools and teaching so you can rise up and achieve. Don't settle for someone else's vision of you. Build you at CalU. Visit us at calu.edu.
Welcome back to the Jess Strom Show. And here she is. Hi, Jess.
Hi.
How are you today?
Great.
Great. Interesting week for the Vulcans. A lot of high highs, a lot of low lows. Tell us your thoughts about the week.
Yeah, so what day is today? Friday. Saturday, I guess we played home, Edinburgh. Tough one for us. Not because we lost so much, but I think just how we played. You know, our defensive effort was just unacceptable for the amount of time they put in practicing it. So I just think kind of disappointed in our effort.
Which is unusual.
Yeah, especially at home. I feel like at home we usually have a lot of energy.
And against the rival.
Yeah, and are ready to go. I know it was the end of a long week, but I think we have to be a little bit tougher than that. But yeah, just disappointed in our effort. So I think, you know, after that game we all were feeling a little angry, and we came back Monday, and I think that probably came across to our team. Watched some film, saw our mistakes, and, you know, because we had to get ready. We had another big game Wednesday. So I think we had to prepare, you know, to get back at it, because Seton Hill is a really good team also.
Absolutely. And every team in the PSAC is good. I mean, it's a juggernaut. We talk about it all the time. Was Wednesday a must-win for the program?
Yeah, I don't think, you know, we necessarily wanted to say that out loud, but I think just in the state of mind we were in, coming off our loss, and just how we played more than even the loss, it was kind of, we needed to get a W at that point in time. Also, because Seton Hill was ahead of us in the standings.
Absolutely.
You know,
and a great team with a high-scoring offense.
Yeah, and it was a good challenge for us defensively to see, you know, can we play this defense? This is a scoring team. So, and I think our kids showed up. I think they came out and, you know, had the energy. We made some changes to our starting lineup. And I think the kids responded. I think, you know, we came out and we kind of showed that we can play our defense when we put our minds to it in our effort.
And this is not, I don't know if it's so much a personal question, but maybe, is it tough to make those kind of changes as a head coach?
Yeah, it's always tough to make those decisions, but at the same time, I have to try to do what I think is best for our team at that time. And, you know, I love our players, so I never want to hurt them or disappoint them either. But at the same time, like I said, if we're not performing the way I know we can perform, then we need to change it up a little bit. So, and I think they, like I said, I think they responded. And you see here finally some layups in transition to start the game, and then there's Mo with an outside shot. And one thing about Mo this game, you see 2 shots in a row here, but she also had 10 rebounds.
Absolutely.
So getting after it on the boards for, I think she's probably 5'3". But, we know she can make shots, but that's one thing I think she has been playing pretty tough.
Yeah, and I think we started out a little slow out the gates on the defensive end. I think they hit some good shots. I thought we did a nice job in the second and third quarter, kind of holding them to the standard that we set defensively.
Yeah, we always have a bullseye. We've talked about that before. And I think, like you said, the first quarter they had too many points. I mean, they had too many points. And then we did a good job second, third, and fourth holding them under our goal. And I think that we just focused on it.
And would you say breakout game for number 5, Hallie Harrington, the freshman?
Yeah, I think obviously it was her first career start, but I think she felt comfortable. They did some things defensively that she could take advantage of offensively. So I think that gave her confidence early. But I think she's getting better daily in practice too. I think our freshmen are getting better. You don't always see them in the games, but they're getting there, so eventually they'll be ready to go.
And let's kind of talk about a little bit. You don't see much here on the highlights, but kind of an unsung hero of the game for us. Number 22, Lauren Bennett.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit of her performance.
And she's the type of player that you really won't see much on the stat sheet from her, but I think she might have had 5 steals in the Seton Hill game. But she just played defense. She got her hand on a lot of tips. She got some steals. She's disruptive and she's smart. Like little plays that you don't notice.
That not many people would see.
Yeah, she makes. So when she's playing with energy defensively, it really helps us because she's a big guard. She's long. She anticipates well.
How fired up were you about holding Seton Hill, a team that roughly averages 82 to 83, even 84 at sometimes points a game? How fired up were you to hold them to 58 points, under 60?
Yeah, it's huge because for us, 60 is like the number we want to get. Obviously, sometimes a little higher, a little lower, but for us to hold them under 60, I think was like a statement to me that we can do this. We can do this against anybody if they can score that many points and we can hold them.
So you put that to bed on Wednesday. We're done with the game. The next focus on the next game. As always, seems like a big rival. Everyone knows that. In any sport.
Yeah.
I feel like the Cal U IUP games have always been a rivalry game. Talk to us a little bit about Saturday.
Yeah, it's always, obviously we don't focus on IUP until we are done with Seton Hill. It's just like everybody else. But at the same time, it's not like everybody else. There is that IUP Cal thing. And it's because they're good. We've had success. They've had success. So it's typically a good matchup. It's pretty evenly played a lot of times. It's a fun game to watch. It's a fun game to coach. It's a fun game to play. And, they have 1 loss on the season. They're a really good team. So I think it's going to be a challenge for us to go there. We got to play hard, but it will be fun.
And do you forget that they're the program that took us out of the NCAA tournament last year? Is that in the back of your mind at all?
I hope it's in the back of our team's mind. I know that, obviously. But to me, it's about this season and what they are right now and what we are right now, and we need wins. We gave up some that I feel like our effort wasn't great, and that's the reason why we gave them up. So I think now, these are all big games for us, so going to IUP is huge.
And you can't go out and play the game. You stand on the sideline as well as us. How do you get your team to understand, when you've dropped a couple that you're not happy with or that you think that you just lost effort-wise, how do you convey the message that all these games are must-wins?
I think, obviously we say it. They're probably tired of hearing it from us, but I think it has to come from our upperclassmen. They've been there. They felt that loss last year. They've been a part of these IUP games before. So I think it has to come from them. It's all about their experience and sharing that with the younger kids.
Fun game.
Yeah, should be exciting, hopefully.
Yeah, always get excited to play these games. And talk a little bit about, the PSAC standings. They'll be showing the standings on the board here. It is really anybody's game. Well, that's the final score of the Seton Hill game. Here we go. Here they go, the West standings. And it's always fun to play teams that are above you.
Yeah, like we said, Seton Hill was a big one for us. Now we're tied with them. Gannon's having a great year. And then obviously IUP's only lost on the season to Glenville, so they're still undefeated in the PSAC. So we have some work to do. You know, our goal is always to win the PSAC West. No, it's not going to change whatever year it is. So we have put ourselves a little bit behind. But it's a big game. We get to go there, and then we get to go to Gannon also. So, you know, we get to play those two teams coming up next.
Yeah, and it's in 4 teams in the PSAC with double-digit wins overall. I think Gannon has 4 losses, but UC 1, UC 4, UC 3 losses. Like, teams are winning in the league.
Yeah, I think that, and I said it at the beginning of the year, I think this year is above any years, it's very equal. You know, obviously IUP is ahead by 2 games, but it's even. I feel like, you know, on any given day, like IUP went to Edinburgh and only won by 3. So I feel like it's just very even, and it's tough because when it's that way, you have to show up every single day. So you kind of have to have, I feel like teams with experience and mature players tend to handle that better. You know, they've been there before, they can handle that. So I think you have to have some maturity, some leadership.
So as we head up to IUP, got a bus now because it is going to be a little snowy, a little icy, so people traveling, you know, be safe out there. What is your mentality going into the game, and what are the keys to the game? I
just am hoping we come out with some defensive energy. That's it. Like, offensively, obviously you have to score some points to win the game, but I just want our defense to start clicking at the right time. Like right now, I think coming off Seton Hill, we were in a good place defensively, so I really, really want our defensive pressure, defensive energy to be great. You know, it's a big game, so there should be no lack of energy.
Yeah, and big-time players they have. You know, they have experienced players at IUP that have been in the league, that have, you know, that have had a lot of experience playing. Natalie Myers, Lexi Griggs, Mascara, who's new to IUP, but not new to collegiate basketball. So people that are putting up some big numbers.
Yeah, I think it's just, I mean, they're good. They are very solid. They're very fundamentally sound. They're a good team. They can shoot the ball. They're just solid. They're a really solid team. So I think for us, the key is going to be take something away that they like to do. Like, make them uncomfortable. You know, that's our biggest thing with anybody. So that's not just, you know, against IUP. We like to try to make the other team uncomfortable. We're much better when we're, you know, doing what we want to do, not just reacting to what they want to do.
So you ultimately want to be the attacker.
Yeah, we always want to come in the game and make the first hit. You know what I mean? Like, we want to be the ones being aggressive early.
Yep. And for the viewers out there that don't know the details of the game, 5:30.
5:30.
Saturday. IUP. Be there. Would love to have you. Need some fans up there. They always bring a great crowd. So Saturday, January 18th, 5:30 p.m., a big one, Cal U versus IUP at IUP. As always, live on CUTV Sports 1. You can stream that or 91.9 FM. So, what are you going to do this weekend, this Friday, besides get ready for IUP?
I will probably watch the other PSAC games that got moved to tonight.
Exciting times in the PSAC.
Yeah.
Do or die time. So, folks, hope to see you on Saturday. Thanks for joining the Jess Strom Show. As always, we will see you soon.